Good morning, students. Today, from your first flat book, we are doing Chapter 4 from the Diary of Anne Frank, written by Anne Frank. Adolf Hitler was obsessed by the idea of pure German race, which he called Aryans. In order to expand the living space for that race, Adolf Hitler enacted the anti Semitism law where Jews were persecuted, killing 6 million Jews in concentration camps and Holocaust. More than 1 million of these Jews who perished were children. Diary of Anne Frank, journal by Anne Frank, a Jewish teenager who chronicled her family's 2 years from 12th June 1942 to 1 August 1944 in hiding during the German occupation of the Netherlands during World War II. After the Nazi gained power in Germany and persecutions against the Jewish population increased, the family went into hiding in July 1942 in hidden rooms in her father Otto Frank's office building. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to the concentration camp system, where Anne died of typhus. Anne's father, Otto, the only survivor, returned to Amsterdam after the war ended and found Anne's diary. Convinced that it was a unique record, he took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. The diary was given to Anne Frank for her 13th birthday. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages and became one of the world's most widely read books. There have also been several films, television, and theatrical productions, and even an opera based on the diary. Described as the work of a mature and insightful mind, the diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation. Anne Frank has become one of the most renowned and discussed of the Holocaust victims. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. So, in the backdrop, we have already heard that how the Nazi persecutions, because of the Nazi persecutions of the Jewish of Europe started. So all the Jewish were hiding. So the place of hiding for Anne family, that is Otto Frank's family, was a set of rooms at the top of a old warehouse in Amsterdam, Holland. This was concealed behind a hidden door and a bookcase. So during the daytime, when the people were working in warehouse, the family used to stay in this hiding place, and during the night only they were able to get some time, and they had to make sure that no noise or nothing, it was all quiet, nobody could locate where they were hiding. So she says that it was a strange experience because these 2 years they were hiding in this place, and the circumstances were not altogether favorable. And then she says that why it is strange, not only because I have never written anything before, because she has not written anything before, she does not have any experience of writing, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. So Anne was 13-year-old. So she believes that later on neither she herself, nor anyone would be interested to see the reflections or to know the reflections or ideas or thoughts about a 13-year-old girl. Oh well, it doesn't matter now. So she says, I'm not bothered, it doesn't matter anymore. I wish to write something. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So she says, now it does not bother, I'm not bothered. I wish to write. And I wish to write why? Because the desire is to get all kinds of things off my chest. That is, there are many burdens. The burdens not only of the situation the Jewish population was under, they were hiding, and not only this, but a desire of a 13-year-old girl to relieve herself, her mind, her heart of all things, all ideas, musings, as she says. She wants to discuss or let it be known to her friend. So she says that yes, I wish to write something. I want to relieve myself of such thoughts and ideas that are there in my heart, in my mind. Paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. So she's saying that one day, she's giving us the instance that one day she was not in good mood. She was depressed, she was sorrowful, she was sad, and she was sitting at home, and she's bored, and she's altogether very low. She's not enthusiastic, not active, and she was wondering whether I should stay in at the home or go out somewhere. And then she says that paper has more patience than people. Why? I finally stayed where I was brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience. So she says, I finally stayed where I was. That is, she was in a hiding place behind the bookcase. So she says that I had to stay. Brooding, she's thinking seriously, what? Paper does have more patience. And since I'm not planning to let anyone else read this stiff backed notebook, grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. So she says that I want my musings to be known to my best friend. I want somebody, a real friend, whom I can speak my heart, speak my mind. But then there is no one. So I believe if I'm going to talk to my paper, paper is more patient. Paper will not answer back. Paper would be very silent and quiet when I'm going to not jot down, I would express my heart and my reflections in paper. And she says, yes, paper does have more patience, and since I'm not planning to let anyone else read this stiff back notebook, that is hard-covered notebook, grandly referred, that is very glorifyingly we refer it, name it as a diary. Unless I should ever find a real friend, so till I get a real friend, I'm going to express my thoughts, my ideas, my reflections in this diary. It probably won't make a bit of difference, though it is perhaps will not make much difference. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. Now she says, I would like to tell you why I am going to write a diary. The first major reason of writing a diary is I do not have a friend. Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that the 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. So she says, now I will try to explain. When I say I don't have a friend, I would like to tell my readers or people around through my diary what? That nobody is going to believe that a young girl of 13 does not have any friend, and I'm all alone. And I'm not. So when it comes to all alone, no, I'm not alone. I said I don't have a friend. I never said I am alone in this world. I'm not alone. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. So she says I'm not alone in this world. I have friends, I have family, I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. So everyone is around me. I'm surrounded by people, a huge family. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. So, on the surface, that is outwardly, you'll see I'm surrounded by a family. My family is there, my parents are there, my sister is there, my aunt is there. It is a good home. Outwardly, everything is very good. All things are good. I'm surrounded, I'm not alone. But then I do not have one true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. So what I wish is that I'm surrounded my friend. My desire is that I'm surrounded with friends and having a good time, good great time enjoying with my friends. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. But when it comes to family, when it comes to sister, when it comes to aunt, though I'm surrounded by them, but then with them I talk what? I talk everyday usual things, the daily routine things I talk to them. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. So talking about these things, the daily stuff, everyday things, I'm talking to them, but then the problem is I'm not close to them when it comes to uh, intimate talk, when it comes to speaking one's heart, when it comes to speaking things about her age. So she says, I'm not that close. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. Then she says that maybe it is my fault that we do not talk when it comes to family, aunt, sister, we are not talking, confiding things, the secrets in each other. Confide, it's given over there to tell personal things privately to a person that one trusts. So it is her fault. She believes that the family she's surrounded with, sister she's surrounded, parents are there, aunts are there, but then they are not confiding in each other things. It is the usual stuff, the everyday stuff that they talk of. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately, they are not liable to change. So she says that it is unfortunate that things won't likely to change because they are family. They are not best friends. They are not friends, a true friend. This is why I've started the diary, and because I do not have a true friend, because I can't confide my secret, my musings to my family. So I thought that yes, I should talk to a friend, and that friend, that is, I should start writing a diary, and that diary would be my friend. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do, but I want the diary to be my friend, and I'm going to call this friend Kitty. So she says, now I would like to tell what this diary would be. This diary would not be a regular thing like people jot down every bit minute details about things in their diary. No, I'm not going to do that. This is what Anne is saying, that I'm not going to jot every bit of my new details into my diary. I'm going to treat my diary as my friend whom I'm going to confide my secrets, whom I'm going to um, give all together uh, a form, or a more form, what you say, as a human form, to call it as a personification. Is she says that my diary would be my friend, and she names the diary as Kitty. So this diary would be personified in the perception of Anne, and she's going to treat that diary as a friend, and she names the diary as Kitty.